Welcome, welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you're a returning friend. I absolutely appreciate everybody who shows up into a live stream. Um, I was just caught off guard because I was watching something. So here's a good idea if you do YouTube. If you are a YouTube uh, creator, you might want to check your statistics on a daily basis because I just uh, I just checked, and I have in the last 48 hours 11,064 views. Now, I understand there's channels that get that in the first 30 minutes or 2 minutes. I do not get 11,000 viewers um, in 2 days. So I highly recommend if you've put out a video that you even think might be kind of funny or might be whatever, keep an eye on it because I really did not pay any attention. I also want to share one other statistic before I leave the area here. We have now have 1,660 subscribers. So new friends, new family, if you will. I'm really excited about that. We've grown just since the first of the year, approximately 35 subscribers. I'm very excited. You may not be able to tell it because sometimes I really try to tamp down my excitement because I can look a little crazy. So, anyways, check your analytics if you're a subscriber. So let me go back into StreamYard and see who's here. So first in the house, we have Campgoer 1. Hey, Linda, thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate it. And there is Priscilla, my little sister. Thank you for showing up. She's kind of the one who prompted this topic tonight that I'll get into here and explain why. We have the Bud Files. Hello, Bud Files. Thank you so much. They have got a really fun channel. I believe it's your channel I watched at least one Christmas parade on this year. So, yeah, I really enjoy your channel, Bud Files. I have got to look at I've got to look here for a moment. I kind of keep an eye on something. All right. So I'm going to make Bud Files a Let me find it here. Huh. Well, so, anyways, thank you so much for coming. I will share with you what actually got one of the things that got that a good review. So, as those who are so far in the chat know, we got our start on YouTube via travel. That was what my idea was. That's what my goal has been for a long time, was travel. Specifically RV travel. I love the idea of RV travel. We've got to do it one time, and we'll get to do it more. Hello, son-in-law. And so here is this will make, I think this will make you smile. If you haven't seen it, here's what got me a little chunk of that 11,000 views in the last 48 hours.
He lost his trailer. Back it up some more. What's he gonna do next? He lost his trailer.
How not to back up a trailer. All right. I thought that was very cute when I saw that little clip, and then Actually, my son put that one together for me. After we talked about what I was gonna, what I was gonna do. How funny I thought it was. All right, so thank you for dropping their link, Camp 41. All right, so to start things off with, we I need to remind. Just a little reminder to hubby. All right, so what made me think about this topic, besides the fact that I'm getting old, and I think about it on a daily basis, is my little sister. So my little sister had cervical spinal surgery, neurosurgery on her neck, or spinal surgery. So she went for a checkup at her doctor's office. No, let me back up. Shh. I told you, Priscilla, you should be telling the story. She was somewhere on the 5th floor of a doctor's office. And when she's up on the 5th floor, okay? And there is an emergency alarm sound that everybody is to exit via the stairway, not the elevator, of course. And she has some issues. She had spinal surgery not too many months, about 6 weeks ago, I think, something like that, maybe 8 weeks. And other issues she didn't know she had until she walked down 5 flights of stairs. Flights of stairs. Now, oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Priscilla. I think I appreciate that very much. And so she had to walk down 5 flights of stairs. And that was, first of all, she was scared. And I've been in this particular building. Was that at Slocum? Or was that out at Riverbend, Priscilla? It must have been at Riverbend. I'm thinking Slocum for some reason. So I've been where she's at many, many times in my life, and where she was, and got this emergency alert to walk down the 5 flights of stairs. And there were other people, of course, in front of her, and some of them, she could walk quicker than some people, but you can't really walk over people who are in front of you. But she was scared. And even going at a slow clip. So she gets down, everybody's okay. I don't know what this big emergency was where they required everybody to go down 5 flights of stairs. What did they do? Hello, Richard. I don't know what they did with the people who were in wheelchairs. Like, I would have been in that situation. I would have at least been with my walker. And so I don't know how. Riverbend Pavilion. Yeah, I was just there the other day. So, yeah, I don't know what they did with those people. So she gets down. So we're talking today. We have a private family chat. And she's talking about how she remembers this feels like, let's see, 30 years ago when we were in high school and we would get prepared in spring for softball and track. And that the workouts in the spring workouts coming out of winter were really difficult and very painful on our bodies. And so add 30 years to them. 30 years to that. Add additional injuries. Add chronic problems. Layer after layer after layer after layer. And so, yes, definitely, I know that. I remember what it felt like back then, getting down, doing the hurdlers stretch and all. I never hurdle. My inseam's 28 inches, 26 inches. My inseam, yes, I know that. That's ridiculously short. But So walking down wasn't bad, but oh my God, my quads have been so painful. So yes, so several years ago, it has to be several because my son was about 9, and he was in a boys program locally, and Redheaded Riding Hood. Welcome to you, welcome. So what? They were hiking to the top of a local mountain called Mount Pisgah. So it's an arboretum. There's lots of stuff that goes on there, and we hike up. Richard had just had a broken neck fusion surgery like in 2 weeks before that. He's hiking right with all these boys, and I am significantly slower than even the men with the broken neck. And we are hiking to the top of Mount Pisgah, and I got myself up there literally by one step at a time. Now, y'all know that I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I've used 12 steps in my life. I would literally put one foot in front of the other, saying to myself, one step is all it takes. One more step, step 1, step 2. So by the time I got up there, I was right near the top. They were all running down. They'd been up there for 45 minutes, okay? So I get up there. On the way down, it was so painful on the thigh. So yes, Priscilla, I'm wholly aware of what that feels like. So here's a couple days out from that, and she's really feeling the pain. So the discussion about aging, out of shape and aging, do we want to continue to age at this wonderful rate and level? What can we do? So let me go back in time here. Oh, yes, that's what we both would like to do. I wish I could go back in time. Priscilla wishes she could go back in time. It's not possible, Priscilla. I wish we could. I wish we could. Let me just go through. There's Catherine. Hello, Catherine. Catherine and I have another conversation coming up. We haven't taped it yet, but we will be taping it. And it's right on this topic. And so I gave her a heads up about tonight. And by the way, I want to let everybody know that Kaylee is really missing the groups, but she's having an internet issue that cannot be fixed until the end of February. The end of February. And so she's very sad that she's missed so much. And she said to tell everybody hi and she loves you. And I said I would pass that on. Okay, Red. Yes. And Priscilla, she has red hair as well. Okay. One step at a time. Yep, that's how I did it. All right, I think it's just some hellos. All right, so I went on the internet to look at some statistics. I love statistics. You would never know somebody who it's a challenge. It was a very big challenge just to learn, how to do basic math. Thank you. I will pass that on to her. So I do like statistics because I do think, so I don't bank my life on statistics, but I think there's something to be said for the gathering of a lot of information and kind of looking at it. And so I'm going to start out with this bit of information. All right, let's just start out right here. So the U.S. went from about 79.1 years life expectancy to 76.4 years. It's dropping like a rock. Drop it like it's hot.
I thought capitalism breeds innovation.
I know.
Oh, it does. Soon we'll all be dead.
So.
Sorry about that shit. There will be no sugarcoating.
I hear you. 76.4 years. The shortest it's been in 2 decades. So, of course, the numbers are shocking. It talks here about, says, the woman who did this said, noted that young people in America are dying at a higher rate than their counterparts in other high-income countries. and that the U.S. alone has among the highest maternal and infant mortality rates among upper income countries. Now, granted, we are talking about elderly, but aging. I'm going to use the word age instead of elderly. But this all matters. It all matters because these young people also need to be paying attention to this. And much of the problem, voila, big, is how the healthcare system is structured. It does identify we have a wonderful sick care system. And I will tell you, yes, we do. I am the recipient of very good health care, and I'm on Medicaid. I've had every surgery I've needed. I have had almost every single medication I've needed, except check this out. I have at my availability that I use occasionally a very powerful pain medication. It's like it's powerful. And I went to get it refilled, and they only had 18 in stock until sometime in late January. It made me think about a couple things that I have paid attention to. So that we take decent care of sick people, but very inadequate health care system. Now, in my own mind, here's how healthcare system would work. Yes, we would have ability to see how we're doing, what's wrong with us, if anything. We would be able to have proper doctors, proper medication. We would also be able to, guess what? Be able to have things in our life that would intervene between I need gastric bypass surgery and I need gastric bypass surgery, such as paid for gym memberships, access to better food when you're on low income. Now, there is some low income availability for people over 60 and over, which I'm going to get to, that I just really found in my research today. So, but the point is, you should not be 62 years old like I am and desperate for health care system. I have a health fix me system, but I don't have a good health care system, and I do understand the difference. And there's some reasons, obviously, different insurances to a degree play an issue there. What they call upstream factors that keep people healthy. I was just saying this. Well, clean air, clean water, a place to live, good education, good food. I've got the good education. I've got a good education. I've got a good place to live. I'm very safe. I've got a roof over my head and 4 walls that have excellent insulation, by the way. I have basically clean water and decent air. And I know that because we have an air quality watchdog locally. And so we always know when air quality plummets. All right, so those are some of the issues that we're facing. Kind of just a bottom line thing that we're facing as people who need to be healthy. Back to StreamYard. Alfonso, welcome. I'm so glad you're here tonight. And I know you're in Denver, correct? And that is much later there than we are here. Camp 4-1, the pollution in all big cities is a long-term issue. People don't realize yet when one doesn't have any lung issues. That's true. You mentioned earlier today about, one of the issues being, having been exposed to secondhand smoke as a youngster. My mother was about a 2-pack-a-day smoker. It took her life eventually, and we were exposed in my family my entire childhood, and so I do understand what that indicates, what that means long term. I have never smoked in my life, not one cigarette. However, I guarantee at some level it's affected me. It has. Yep, Denver metro area. Look at the cost of healthy food. It's challenging to consistently eat healthy. So you're right. I'm pretty much completely out of healthy food except for about a 2-gallon thing of carrots. And I'm being deadly serious. 2 gallons of carrots. It's in a Ziploc baggie. As a matter of fact, I went to a food bank Friday, one that I thought might be better quality. They had no vegetables. I don't think, no onions, no nothing, no salad, no nothing. We live in the Willamette Valley. We live in an area where fruits and vegetables are grown. Granted, this is wintertime, but not a vegetable to be found. And the stuff that is in food banks, where people like myself go when things get really tough, I should not eat on the diet that I have to be on. So, food is a huge, gigantic issue. My son-in-law and my son, for the most part, my son-in-law completely is a vegetarian. And so,
That's not right.
well, he eats fish. Okay.
Pescatarian.
He's a
I was reading online, where you read a lot, that
pescatarian.
pescatarianism is
He's
the
a pest.
healthiest, definitely, pesky. It's the healthiest diet is fish and vegetables.
Oh, no, true. I
That's what
love
was reading.
I love
I was
fish too. I love fish too. All right, so let's see. What does I really believe secondhand smoke had brought my immune system down. No question. So I'll tell you what. It's my understanding is that over 50,000 people a year die who are simply secondhand from having been a secondhand smoke people. You think that's true?
Wow, I can't say true or false.
Oh,
You're saying it.
Yeah, it's
If you read about it, okay.
yes.
If that's true, then the tobacco industry is like
Oh, the tobacco industry.
this.
Yeah. Yes, no, I agree. I'm for I'm an open market person, but I have to tell you, I do believe that the tobacco companies are as close to the devil as anything ever. It's taken my mother, took my sister. Granted, nobody shoved a cigarette down their throat, but there were addictive qualities.
Yeah, they did. Oh, the culture shoved it down.
The
there.
culture,
sophisticated look like this. Oh, man, you'll lose weight if you smoke.
Oh, yes,
Oh, it
yes.
shoved it way down their throat. The good thing to research is how women were allowed to smoke in 1920, and how Edward Bernays, the father of marketing, responsible for so much of the S show that we now inhabit.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was his first marketing campaign. Women were not allowed to smoke before 1920.
Really?
Yeah. And he made it, branded it as freedom and weight loss.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been shoved down a lot of people's throats.
Yes. So, son-in-law here knows a lot about a lot of different things. One of them is about history, and as he just said, that it was shoved down people's throats back in after the 20s. Women specifically, marketed to women. Fish is good as long as it's wild caught, not from a fish farm. True. All right, so we know that there are certain things people need in order to have better health, and we're not talking again health care. We're talking health. So I was thinking, as I've gotten older, I unfortunately did not start dealing with things until I was an older aging adult. My entire 50s were surgery. That's no joking. I had to leave graduate school when I was a little over 50 years old. I'm 62. My last surgery was 2 years ago. And at least one surgery a year, and sometimes two. So, my little sister's saying here, when Mom and Linda started smoking, and for most of their smoking lives, the effects of tobacco was hidden. Yes. Our oldest sister, who was about 12 years older than me, 15 than Priscilla, she mentioned that she first started smoking when she was 8 years old. She would steal mother's cigarettes and probably other people's, but she smoked really. Linda loved smoking, and she quit about 15 years before she passed away. But it's an ugly, ugly industry. Catherine says, Christopher Reeve's wife died of lung cancer. She was never smoked in her life. Yep, people do. Now, I've been tested to see if I was. So people who can get lung cancer, There is a test that you can take to see if you have a genetic predisposition. I do not have that genetic predisposition. I don't. I have 5 other sisters. Well, I have 3 other living sisters who could be tested, but only one of them's in here tonight. Just saying. Nancy and Patty. So, what is it called? The test, I am not sure what it's called. If you're asking what the name of that test was, I can look it up after this live stream and put it in down below. I don't remember the name of the test. It's been several years ago. So, a little bit more information looking at trying to become healthy. So now in my 60s, walking this path of trying to get healthy, I've done a lot of research into different things. Obviously, physical health, mental health, spiritual health. All 3 things for me have to be in line. All 3 things. It cannot just be one of those. Because I can tell you when I am not spiritually fit, and that's different for everybody, when I'm not spiritually fit in the way that works for me, I am not a nice person. And I feel unbalanced, and things come at me. Like right before this live stream, I just had messaged a friend of mine and I said, I just felt this overwhelming sense of I don't want to do this tonight. I just don't want to do it. I don't know why. Nothing happened, nothing negative. I'm just sitting here looking at stuff. Maybe it's the sense of overwhelmedness that all, people can get. I know that looking at my own stuff, that can happen sometimes. But guess who's here? All right, so the next little piece of information that might be useful is just talk about nutrition. So specifically speaking to older people, and I'm pretty sure that's what's here. There are I want to go back up here. Okay, yep. Make sure this is, yep. There's special considerations for older people. One of them is protein. Now, you don't have to get protein in meat form. Protein comes in other forms as well. So that people who are, but if someone is a vegetarian, the vegetarian needs to take special measures to ensure that they're getting the amount of protein. I'm going to give a shout out here to what's it called? Ultimate. What's that non-meat meat, Josh? What's the brand of that non-meat meat you guys buy?
Well, we always get Beyond Meat or Bean.
Okay. I really do like the Beyond Meat. I do.
Well, they in the last 20 years,
It's
made progress.
my mother.
Real meat.
My mother, who passed 30. Let's see, Brent is 33. Oh, good Lord.
He's 34.
He's almost 34. Oh, Jiminy Cricket alive. So my mother passed when he was 9 months old. So she's been gone that long. She used to eat whatever they had that was non-meat meat back in the day. Okay, garden burgers. That was it. They had garden burgers, pretty much. And I remember that very well. They were not. Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, there we go, Josh. We can show that if you'd like. Here is son-in-law's meal for the night. I need to actually go on Streamer where I can see that I'm showing this. Do you see that?
That is a Boca Burger. Boca Burgers came out in 1996, I want to say. And they were the first veggie burger that was really trying to approximate beefliness. Like where before this, veggie burgers were just like kind of a spongy, kind of disintegrating, kind of floury, kind of tasting thing. Whereas then they began to sort of focus on approximating and reconstituting, reimagining, making the veggie meat experience akin to the meat experience.
So,
and now 25 years later, oh my
yes,
God.
And I'm being deadly serious here because I'm trying to cut out, fats, bad fats where I can. I'm never going to give up beef, because I do like it. I'm a meat eater. I love meat. Okay. But I also understand that I have to have moderation in my life in all things, especially things that I really like. Because if I could have a T-bone steak and egg every morning for breakfast, I'd probably get up and want to cook breakfast every morning. But, it's just, I can't have that much meat. All right, so protein, making sure that that we're getting the right amount of protein. Now, I want to say as a clarification here, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on YouTube. Okay, I simply am someone who really wants to disseminate information that I find that is decent. This, by the way, comes from health.gov. And these will be in our down below. So protein, these protein sources also provide additional nutrients such as calcium, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and fiber. Now, I don't know about you, but I miss a lot of fiber in my diet. And so I'm actually taking a fiber supplement. I do mix it with I mix it with orange juice and a shot of lime or a shot of lemon, like a good one, because, I have to do it that way. And then Richard and I both take a D12 supplement. That is a prescription from the doctor, because we live in Oregon. I'm assuming that's the reason, because our vitamin D3s are horrible. And whoopsie, that was quick. And then the ability to absorb vitamin B12 can decrease with age. So make sure that you check with your doctor. One of the reasons that I really promote having a general practitioner, where once a year I go and I have my numbers ran. Okay, I go get my numbers ran once a year to see where I'm at. And I have made good inroads on many things: cholesterol, triglycerides, the good fats and the bad fats. The only thing for me that's still out of line to some degree is triglycerides. And drinking enough fluids. So fluids, I track fluids through. So I've started, I'm on Weight Watchers now, and I've lost 9 pounds in 2 weeks. It's not a giant amount, but it's actually pretty good for 2 weeks. And it tracks my fluid. I'm not drinking enough fluids. I do not know why I'm not drinking enough fluids. Probably because I'm sick of getting up at night 4 times. You know what I'm saying? But it's imperative that we get enough fluids, according to the government. And by the way, something, and I know this having had my father passed when he was 93. He was 94 when he passed, close to his 95th birthday. And one of the things that affected his life to a degree was ability not to chew well, because he basically had no teeth. And by the way, he did not really want to get dentures until it was just, he could have gotten dentures, but he just really didn't want dentures. My dad was a fun guy. So sharing meals with elderly people when possible, because that also makes food more enjoyable. I don't know. I never really have a problem with enjoying food. And food safety is the other issue. So I do know people who do not have a refrigerator, because as we know, and I've explained, I got started on YouTube through travel. And a lot of the people who are in travel community do not have refrigerators. They choose, especially the smaller rigs, like a minivan or whatever, don't have a refrigerator. They may have a cooler, or simply buy enough that they can eat within a couple of days. If it's fruits, fresh fruits and vegetables, and canned meats, which are not ideal They are better than none at all, but they're not ideal. Let's see what's being talked about. I'm going to back this truck up a little bit. My dad and 3 cousins died of C. Oh, wow. Oh, Linda, I'm very sorry to hear that. Talking about illness, things can bring on insight. I know. And so, talking about illness, things can bring on insight feelings. Yes. So I'm going to talk about another piece of all this here in a few minutes. Please give one. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Alfonso. I appreciate you very much. Veggie burgers. Yep. I like black bean burgers, by the way. I really do. I love spicy black bean burgers. But we always get a thing of hamburger patties already made, and usually the spicy black bean burgers, because we both will eat them and I love them. I think those Premier protein drinks, but don't think it does much for me. 30 grams of protein, 100 calories, 1 gram of sugar, 24 vitamins and minerals. So I've always struggled with protein drinks because I don't. Now I might be okay in like the middle of the day. I'm not drawn to sweets as my major go-to thing. Mine is just like a straight carbohydrate, like give me some good bread and butter and I'm ready to go. I always found the ones that I've always tried were sugary, and I don't really care for that, or grainy. Now, a close friend of mine had gastric surgery several months ago, and this friend is supposed to use this drink that she's supposed to drink every day. I believe every day. Can't afford it now. I mean, it's so expensive as it turns out to do. But said that it's really good. It's not like that's probably the reason for the exorbitant expense of it. It's much better product. Oh yes, Priscilla's made very good. Yeah. If you write that down and send it to me, Priscilla, I will include that in the notes at the bottom tonight or tomorrow. And my father had to drink those drinks because he just didn't get enough nutrition towards the end of his life. And so, yeah, he was 94. Our father loved being alive. He loved being alive. He would have lived every day of 200 years if he could have. And by the way, the day that he passed, his nurse, when she called, said it was a great morning. He was joking around. He was having fun. He was teasing her. We had just seen him 2 days before because it was during COVID and the nursing home was locked down. So we couldn't go in, but we went outside the window and stood and talked to him. And so she said she left for 5 minutes. His breakfast tray was on his tray. She came back and his eyes were closed and he was gone. There was no fighting. He didn't knock his tray off to get attention. He just passed peacefully and naturally. That is what, for me, my dad died the best death possible, in my opinion. And if I'm so lucky, that's how it will happen to me. But my luck, I'm going to be throwing things off the table. I'm not ready. I got things to do. So yes, 94. Kemper one, rinse black beans and mash. Oh, she's doing a recipe right here. Okay. All right. Well, you can do that too, Priscilla. Yeah. It's very simple. And yet you have control. The nice thing is you have control of how much sodium you put into it. Cayenne, garlic. Oh, gosh, yes. All right. So let me go back to some more. So back to information. All right. So food safety, making sure that everything that you're eating is as safe as possible, cleaned properly. And, I'm really bad at that with veg fruits sometimes. I'll just grab my apple that I came in a bag and I'll shine it up and I'll eat it. without rinsing it, wiping it dry. I don't know if I'll ever get over that. But handling food, I think most all of us understand that's just an imperative. But it is a special issue for people who travel. When Richard and I traveled in our RV, we had a refrigerator with a little freezer. And we did everything, we took care of everything just like we did here at home. All right, resources for, why does it keep doing that when I click on the beginning? Resources. Resources to help older adults eat healthy. So Congregate Nutrition oh my gosh. Congregate Nutrition Services for people over 60 and their spouses, things like schools, senior centers, churches. Now, right now, because Eugene and Springfield, which is our sister city right across the bridge, we had this massive ice storm that has destroyed Springfield. Okay, it's a war zone over there. I mean, I'm sure it's getting cleaned up now, but a lot of broken branches. There's like between 2,000 and 3,000 people still without utilities in our area. And so the school in Springfield called Dos Rios something, Two Rivers Del Rios, I think is the name of it. They've been having meals for people. You just go there and they will feed you. It's a respite location as well as a place to get some good food, because there are people, like I said, who don't have any utilities. And I don't know if they do this all the time for low-income people, but I do know they're doing it up through today for people from the storm. SNAP, which is food stamps. Richard and I received $270 in food stamps. We are on very low income, and I can tell you that $270 is very limited. Now, he turned 65, and so the insurance plan that he chose, United Healthcare, he will get, I'm not sure how much, but there's where you can buy some extra foods, healthy foods, certain foods, through that. I don't know anything about it because it's brand new to us, but we certainly will be utilizing the healthy foods piece of that. Will be really nice to have. And it does not affect the SNAP benefits, at least here. Here's something I haven't heard in a long time. Commodity Supplemental Food Program. This distributes monthly packages of nutritious foods from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Now, I looked into this. I'm going to finish this page and then I'll show you. I looked into this. I had not heard of this either. So these are resources I've never heard of, and it's good to have. And this is because I've never looked this deep before. There's also home delivered nutrition services, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Meals on Wheels is the one locally that we have here. Now, we don't have that need because we can prepare food. We have a care assistant, and so that's not necessary. But if, for instance, I was bedridden like I was through much of November and December, and I was alone, I definitely would have utilized that service. Let's switch back here and see if anybody has commented. Oh, me too, zinc. Got to have zinc. Oh my God, I can't believe you don't always wash your apples before you eat it. I know. Jackson School, Two Rivers Del Rios. I knew whose school that was. I wasn't going to say his name, but yes, I knew it was his school. And anyways, it's really cool what they're doing over there. The U card. Okay. Thank you very much, Linda. It's going to be new. It's new. Healthy food thing for HC. Yep. All right. So that's something that I'm going to be talking about in a moment. And then the child and adult care. So if a person is in child and adult care food program, So if somebody's in an adult care program where they go during the day, or something of that nature, or adult daycare, there's adult daycare. There's reimbursement for that. All right. So I'm going to quit sharing that. All right, this is what I had not heard of. Commodity Supplemental Food Program, serving seniors with a monthly food package. The Commodity Supplemental Food Program works to improve the health of low-income persons at least 60 years of age by supplementing their diets with nutritious USDA foods. USDA distributes both food and administrative funds to participating states and Indian tribes. And then this is just the program fact sheet. I want to get the right one here. There it is. Duh, right at the top. Oh, well, okay, so you can go through this, find out if you're I did see a spot where it showed what states, who to contact, and now I have misplaced that. But this again is just another resource. Another. I've never heard of this. Now, I think that it's definitely something that many people can benefit from. The more nutrition, the more nutritious options, the better. Okay. Make sure not to. True, I do know that. I do understand about zinc. I don't remember what the amount is, but I need to get more zinc. Well, hello, quiet listener. Hi, Vicki. Thank you for coming in. So glad you're here. If someone could please drop her link for me, I would appreciate it. God bless you. Vicki is a great lady. She prays for people. She prays for me. I pray for Vicki. So I have this little sheet of paper, and I don't have a great memory. So I know who in my family, my close family that I pray for, which is my family, and then other people that I've met along the way, friends that I've known for years, and people I've made friends with here. So it's one of the best ways. I just go through the names, and it makes it easier for me to remember. Another vegetarian, I do happen to know Vicki is a vegetarian. We were talking about vegetarian foods. 250 milligrams, not for sure. Okay, I would look it up again. Personally, I'll look that up when I get some more. So that is another option. Now, why? What affects our health as much as anything else? Okay, it is. So, like I said, if I'm not in a spiritual fit place, a mentally fit place, which I know there's people who will question that on a daily basis. And that's okay. There are some things that we can do so here's a phrase I disdained for years. I hated the phrase self-care because for me, it seemed like a cop-out. I don't know why. It just seemed like self-care. Don't we all do self-care? Well, duh. No, we don't all do self-care. I'm a prime example. When I would hear that phrase used, it was usually in conjunction with, I don't want to make that commitment because that's a self-care day, or something like that. And so I came to really dislike the phrase self-care. it's full. I threw the baby out with the bathwater, you know. Out goes the baby too. We all need to take care of ourselves at different levels. And here's some great pointers about this. So, Priscilla, the regular exercise. So what can we do? I understand your position. Really, I do. And I think many of us in here understand it. You can't hardly walk because of going down 5 flights of stairs, because of, not being in that peak physical condition any longer, or half physical condition. It's just what's happened. So we get to sit and beat ourselves up, which I do. I do. I don't ever make bones about that. I have beat myself up very badly over where things have gotten for me. If I stay there, that's a bad place. And guess what I will never do? I'll never grab a hold of that little rope that's put down for me and climb out of the hole. Okay. And again, it is one step at a time. So getting regular exercise. If for you right now, regular exercise means using the bands, sitting and just doing squats in a chair. That's one of the things my physical therapist did when I have had every single back surgery I've ever had, is squats unlimited. Squat, squat, squat. Doing squats and learning how to do them properly. I'm going to tell you, an excellent person to watch, Minnie Van Lee. I am so serious. That lady has got it down, and she's, I believe, 70 or 72. Works out every day at the gym because that's where she takes her shower, because she lives in her van down by the river. No, not really by the river. She jokes that herself. She puts out some really good videos. Now, granted, they are elevated. So I'm not at a Minnie Van Lee place in life where I can do those exercises, but I can modify them. It is very easy to go online and find modified exercise program. And more importantly, check with your doctor first. I happen to know what my doctor thinks I can do or should do or can do. I don't know what your doctor thinks you should do, can do, or whatever. I recommend checking with your primary care physician. If you don't have a primary care physician, I highly recommend a primary care physician. I just can't, of some sort. I guess, there are people who use alternative medicine. There's people who do an osteopath, or there's different ways to get to the same conclusion, and that's finding out where our health is today and what do I need to do to improve it. And figuring out what that exercise for you can be. Water exercise is one of the best there is. Just getting in the pool and water walking. And I'm a good one. I mean, I have a pool 7 minutes from my house that I used to go to. I used to. That's a horrible phrase, used to. Every morning, because I'd call one of my older sisters when I was done, I would go there at like 6:30 in the morning and swim for an hour. And that's not that long ago. It's like 10 years ago, 10 years ago. Eating healthy, regular meals, and staying hydrated. So I generally eat 2 meals a day and a couple snacks. And I feel completely satiated by that, eating that way. If I eat 3 meals, I feel much more full in a way that isn't a good full. And I like to do the fasting. So I usually don't eat anything from about 1 a.m. Just kidding. No. Sometimes my son brings food in at like midnight. I'm serious. He has brought us in like a full-blown meal at 12 o'clock at night on plate, like full meals. And it's usually pasta, which is so. Anyways, so eating healthy, regular meals. I'm using Weight Watchers. There's like 2 pages of free foods. I could eat as much carrots within a rational reason as I want to, as much celery as I want to. I'm telling you, I'm in love with Weight Watchers. The hydration I have to work on. Minnie Van Lee is extremely fit, yes. And she didn't get that way overnight. No. But I'm saying that her workouts, she even modified them for when she's been boondocking. She was on a steep incline board doing sit-ups. Make sleep a priority. I'm getting generally now 8 to 9 hours of sleep every night. I didn't realize it was as important, but I am doing that. I do that. One of the things I do, because I have a hard time going to sleep. My mind is clicking till I have really dozed off, thinking about a number of things for hours. I can lay in bed for hours. I can't even tell you. And I turn on Rain. I've got a little smart TV in my bedroom. I turn on Rain, and it's a particular black screen Rain that is gentle rain. And I turn it up louder than Richard likes it, but oh well. I'm just saying, I need to go to sleep, Richard. And that's what I need to go to sleep. No, I don't. I'm not a bully. I turn it down a notch. It's not loud. He's just being a brat. So making sleep a priority, and however you got to do it, do it. Another thing that I do is meditation. And that can also be done with a program such as a meditation program. I don't need to do that because I have, through my recovery program, learned how to meditate and kind of relax and allow things to go. And I also do when I'm really struggling, I do what is it called, where you do one muscle at a time. Isolating muscles, relaxing them. So the relaxation activity, set goals and priorities. I have one goal, and that's to get to a certain BMI. That's it. That's my goal. Practice gratitude. I am an extremely grateful person for anything and everything I have. As I always say, and I absolutely believe this, I am nothing special. I'm nobody. Well, I'm actually, that's really a bad way to say that. I don't mean it because, as a child of God, I am a special person. I am special. And I believe that in that respect, I'm special. But I'm no more special than the next person. And so I'm grateful for anything, like getting 11,000 views in 48 hours. I was stunned. I mean, beyond stunned about that video, getting 8,000 views. And I'm so grateful for it because it helps. I got 4 new subscribers out of it, 4 new people that I can make a connection with, ideally at some point. And by the way, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Focus on positivity. Just like what happened with me earlier tonight, where I just got overwhelmed with the sense that I don't want to do this tonight. I don't know why. It was not you guys. It was just something that happened to me because I love doing live streams. I think that shows because I do so little content. I love live streams. But something, I just got this negative darkness and I didn't allow it to be in control. I still did, even though it was there, I still turned it off and I went forward and made my commitment. And remaining connected, like here I am right now. Exactly what I'm talking about right here. I'm connected to my family, at least Priscilla. Don't know where Nancy and Patty are, but staying connected to people who care about me and I care about. I live in a household with 3 men, hubby, son, and his husband. Okay? There's a lot of testosterone in this house. I really, sometimes I'm a pretty strong personality, but I'll tell you, I get overwhelmed at times when there's just all that. And so I'm very connected in my home life. I'm very connected to most of my family. I am very connected to my community here the best that I can be at this time, and working on other ways to do that. All right, Dr. StreamYard. Oh, there's son-in-law right there, as a matter of fact. Would you say there's a lot of testosterone in this house, Josh? I'm glad you're listening. But bottles of water in the fridge, and every morning grab one and keep it with you. I know that is the way I should be doing it. So my first, I battle that every day with these bootlegs. They ain't remaster themselves. If anybody likes music, Josh has a Josh. You can share that down below if you'd like. My brain just took a fart. Joshua. No, you did not hound me at all. I was going to do one. And then between you and Priscilla, I thought, well, that makes perfect sense. And I'm always talking about this topic. This topic is huge. So as I shared, this is it right here. It's his name of his blog is Nobody's Blissness. Nobody's Blissness. He blogs very, he's a consistent blogger about music. And by the way, older music, he knows everybody. He is a rival to my brother-in-law, to a brother-in-law of mine, Chuck, who I thought knew everything about music. I'm saying, I think Josh and him could have dueling conversations. So I think that was, I just want to look at a couple things. Make sure before you add a physical activity, by the way, they also have physical activities at senior centers. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back to Minnie Van Lee again. She talked about how her, when she was traveling with her partner, her ex-partner, they would go to like the community center there in Quartzsite, have lunches. There's things that happen there, activities. I know we have a community center here in Eugene that caters to older people as well. And I know that they do activities such as exercise and whatnot, nutrition, all of that stuff. I'm just going to double check my stuff up here and make sure I've covered everything. I believe I have. And what time is it? 7:04. Wow, that was right on target. He has 14,000 unreleased concerts that were never released. He has 14,000 of them, mostly from FM radio. I'm telling you, Nobody's Blissness. If you like music, I would check it out. Okay, I think that's about all I was going to talk about. So the last thing is just a little bit more on my on Weight Watchers. So I was very depressed, thinking I've got to do something drastic, and I've got to do it day before yesterday, weeks ago. And I'm someone who apparently, even though I know, I understand, I am not stupid, okay? I understand. Calories in, calories out. There are some other issues with that, such as water retention. I retain water. So I have guess what? A water pill to take when that happens. Guess what I don't always do? I don't know why, because I try to do it myself. Just will the water out of me. Guess what I'm doing nowadays? I'm taking it on a regular basis, out of desperation. So anyways, I liked so I was sitting there, woe is me, pour me another whiny glass of wine. Okay, not real wine, you know what I mean? Wine, WHINE. Let's have another wine glass and blame the world and blame my genetics. Okay, I'm not saying that's not part of the problem, Mom. My environment I grew up in. Mom, Dad, but mostly Mom. Yes, I've had cataract surgery. Both eyes done. Both eyes done. I just, as an aside, let me tell you something. don't get what. So this isn't uncommon, Priscilla. So, Linda, what I did when I had my cataract surgeries done is and my doctor said people do this all the time. I know I keep saying this, but one eye was better at a certain distance and the other is better at the longer distance. So I had to, when they make those lenses for your eyes, one is for further away and one is for closer. You can have them so they're exactly the same. I wish I would have done that. It's my opinion, based on my experience, is that I wished I had not done this little thing. I was wrong. It is not normally said from these lips, but I was very wrong. And so, highly recommend thinking heavily, if you're going to have cataract surgery, about how you're going to do your lenses. Talk with your doctor. Tell them you have a crazy YouTube lady friend who had one done for distance, close up, and it's a nightmare. Now, yes, I've got a glasses that can even that out. But I'm just saying, what was I thinking? And I believe my doctor was wrong for telling me that's okay. It's kind of like the doctor who told me people have their heart ablated every day without any sedation. He was a liar. He was a big liar, as a matter of fact. So I should have learned from that lying doctor. We live about 5 miles apart. Yes, Priscilla, I can see you out the back door. Smart aleck. All right. So, I just like today, it just was, what happens is I will be on the toilet all night long and I don't like it. So, anyways, that's what stops me from taking my water pill every day. They say far-sighted close-ups. I'm just saying, I made a mistake. My doctor was wrong. All right, so I think that's it. I'm working on a video about all this damage that happened here. I couldn't get out of my driveway. Let me tell you, I couldn't get out of my driveway. I couldn't get out on my front sidewalk. I couldn't get anywhere on my patio because snow and ice had blown onto the patio, and it looked clear and it looked shiny. And I took my foot and I just slid it, and it was like, whoop. Had I tried to step on it, I would have went whoop, just right along with my feet and down on my butt. And I don't want to do that. So I did be careful. You're wearing your sweats. Okay, so you need glasses to see close still. Yes, that's what I do. My glasses are for seeing close. And I need to get another pair. But all right. I think that's it for tonight. I am so happy that you guys showed up, and whoever's all there is there. And, you guys are a fun group of people. And remember Kaylee, she'll be back. She just is having trouble with her. She does not have internet right now. And so this is not possible for her to be on here doing this. And thank you, Alfonso. And Alfonso has a channel too. Before we go, if somebody could make sure they drop Alfonso's channel and Linda's channel. Linda is, so before we go, please, if you have a channel, put a C in the chat. I know I could talk for a couple more minutes. No problem. Let's see. Oh, I'll share with you while you're doing that. No, the surgery did not hurt at all. Nope, surgery was fine. Both eyes done. It's a little inconvenient because I remember now. I don't remember if I had to wear a patch. I think I had to wear a patch, and you have to do these 2 different eye drops. Make sure your insurance covers both eye drops if your doctor prescribes 2 eye drops. So when you figure out if you're going to have it, ask them about the eye drops, because as it turns out, not all insurances are created equal when it comes to the eye drops. Just saying, be really, careful with that. Alfonso, you look so much younger and prettier now. Well, thank you. I would love to give you a nice big hug too. You are an extremely sweet person, and he plays wonderful music. I love his music, and we're going to have to do just a fun. There's a game I'd like to play. We might do that Sunday. If we do that, Alfonso, I'll get in touch with you, and maybe you could come on and just do some in the background music. It's a fun game. It's I can't think of the name. You have to think. Oh, vitreous detachments as well. I don't think I had anything. I didn't have anything detached. I just had cataracts, and it was because I have type 2 diabetes, even though it's in remission. So it's in remission, but check this out. What my eye doctor told me, I learned as much about diabetes from my eye doctor as I've ever learned from anybody. He said type 2 diabetes is trying to find its way to damage you, even if it's in remission. It doesn't matter. It's trying to find an organ to affect, and it affected my eyes. He said it was because of my diabetes. I said, it's in remission. He said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He said, diabetes is always trying to hurt you. If you got it, you got it. Now, granted, I don't take insulin, I don't take medicine. I don't even have to check my blood sugar, but like once a month if I don't want to, because it's in remission. My A1C has identified that. However, I just every so often check it just to check it and make sure everything is okay. Oh, that would be a fun one too. Name that tune. That's something that we could do with you. So you have type 2 as well. My mother had type 2 diabetes, and my mom loved food. Mom loved food. She loved bread. She loved, if you couldn't dip bread in it, it wouldn't be worth eating. Would you say that's accurate, Priscilla? If she couldn't dip bread in it, why would you even have it on the dinner table? We had bread at both ends of the table, meat, potatoes, and a vegetable. And so that was the environment that I grew up in. It's not her fault, because guess what? My little sister she was not overweight, okay? And one of my older sisters, well, actually a couple of my older sisters did not have a weight trouble either. Oldest sister, Linda, no weight trouble at all, until her COPD destroyed her life. And then because of medications, she gained weight. But I think it's like 3 and 3. 3 of us had a weight problem, 3 of us did not. But seriously, our environment was carbohydrate-aholic. Carbaholics. And it's been harder for me to break than not drinking. However, let me tell you, as I tried explaining this to another person, I never have to touch alcohol again, ever. Never have to touch alcohol. I don't have to build a relationship with alcohol. I don't have to learn how to tolerate it in my life. I don't have to learn how to eat with it, okay? Oh, that scared me. Czar, you scared Grandma. There you go, buddy. But you have to have a relationship with food. We all do. We have to learn how to get along with it, get along without some of it, learn how to moderate, at least I do. And so that's a forever thing. I don't ever one day get to say, oh, no more food, I will never have to eat again. No, she could not quit smoking. And even when she was on oxygen, she would, take the oxygen off, and she would sneak a puff here and there. Yeah, it's a horrible addiction. And I don't think she did that because she wanted to die. She was so deeply addicted. Nicotine, whatever it is it did for her, is the same thing alcohol did for me. All right. Me too. So I hope that there's, if if y'all could think of one tool that you would use for your mental health, or that you use for your mental health, your physical health, your dietary health, your spiritual health, and come back and put that in the comments. Just add one little piece, just what, even one word. It doesn't have to even be a sentence. A word that says meditation, walking, sitting quietly. Some of us struggle with sitting quietly. I would appreciate that. And it would be helpful maybe to somebody else. All right, so I guess that's it. I'm just double checking here. And thank you for dropping links. I know, Vicki. I know. It's, and it's nobody's job to hound you or to do anything. You will quit. I know you're a smart woman. If you can quit, you'll quit when you can quit. It's painful to know that it's such an addictive drug, nicotine. It is. Richard, the same exact thing. Needs a very serious spinal surgery in his neck and one in his lower back. Nobody's going to touch him until he is off of nicotine, because they do, especially with cervical surgeries, do not heal if you're smoking. And it's pressing on his spinal cord. That's how bad he's addicted. He's got an impingement on the spinal cord, and he still cannot quit. So, speaking of, you want to say hello? Let everybody know you're still alive. Oh, he fell again. Well, he fell the other night. He backed up against our wood box that's over by the fireplace, and he fell into. He tripped on it. He backwards. He was walking backwards, backing up. He tripped on it and hit his back. We have a glass table.
My rib.
Yes, his rib.
Right. Good. Yeah, I'll do
Oh,
that.
hold on. Let me get rid of this. All right, go ahead.
You can show it.
Oh, it's about, turn
My
around.
rib, I hit quite a real thin tabletop,
Glass.
about like that thick. It hit my rib. I fell into it. I think I broke the rib.
And he is bruised just about that far across his back. I mean, it's just, I feel bad for him because he's just had one pain after the other. All right. Alfonso, I'm so happy you have no experience with cigarettes. Me, I haven't directly, but yes, it's nothing anybody wants to indulge. Two minor ones, and oh, Vicki. Well, all we can do, pray for, I'm going to pray for you, as I always do, because I know that this is something you need to do for yourself, but you can only do it in your time and God's time, and that's just how it works, and it's a monster one. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good evening. I will see you in a few days. Take care. Stay healthy. If it's icy in your neck of the woods, be real careful. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Find, guess what? Your passion. Whatever your passion is, find it. Figure it out. Don't wait till you're 60. Figure out your passion. Make it happen. All right? Share it with other people. Much love to everybody.